So today I have a radiator heater to review. This one is the Aikoper. It's the exact same model and pretty much everything compared to the Pelonis as well. Each fin that you have on here is going to produce a bit more heat. This one has 6 fins, so it's definitely going to do a bit more heat than like a smaller, like four fin one. You have your different digital display here. You could do, I think it's 40 to 90 something degrees. I'll figure that out here in just a second. What's also nice with the fins is that you can easily dust in them. You can put a duster right through it. You cannot clean the fan ones quite as easily. The downside though, without a fan, the air doesn't circulate quite as well, but you could always put a fan next to it. If I was to shake it, put it upside down and everything, you could hear the oil moving around in there. It's definitely far more efficient. All right, so I got it plugged in. We can go ahead and power it up. You can see it has a digital display. You got an eco mode. You also have a standard regular mode. Now, with the oil, it's definitely going to be a lot more energy efficient. It's going to hold that heat a lot longer, but it's not going to heat the room as fast. It's going to take a few minutes to start producing a decent amount of heat, and you kind of want to put it at a temperature that you're going to be happy with for the long term. It's not like a forced air fan where you could turn it on and you immediately get heat in that surrounding area. But when you have these set and you leave them on, it will sustain that temperature for a long time. So it looks like it actually goes as low as 40 and 295 degrees. So you could even put one of these in like a garage or a shop or something like that. You could set it for, let's say you wanted it at 40 degrees or 50 degrees during the winter time, so things don't freeze in there if you're in a really, really cold climate. You could definitely do that, and it's not going to be quite as expensive as putting a forced heating unit out there. Now, it still does get pretty hot to the touch. It's already getting pretty warm within a couple minutes. Our main tube here is getting a little over 100 degrees, 112, 103, depending on where you stick it. So, I mean, you definitely want to keep your kids away from it still, because it will still hurt them if they were to touch it for a long period of time. The fins themselves won't get quite as hot, but it still gets pretty hot. I'd say after about 5 minutes or so, we are able to see over 200 degrees. So it definitely gets just as hot as a lot of those other heaters. It's just not really pumping that air around with a fan like the forced ones. But these are highly efficient compared to what you could do. Is what I like to do anyway, is I put a box fan right behind it. If you put a fan right behind it, it's going to circulate that heat a lot better. But here's 2 tips. You're going to want to lower the temperature a little bit, because as that fan is blowing it, it is going to be cooling down that liquid a little bit. So it's going to be kicking on a little bit more, and it will get a lot hotter on you. Also run that fan on low. If you use these radiator heaters though, you will see a lot lower bill compared to a normal forced heat system.